you doing, YouTube? This is your boy Brogi Naric, back again with another episode of the Playhouse. And in these videos, we talk about various subjects, usually giving ideas for movie casts, TV show casts, movie ideas, and also video game ideas. And in this video, I'm going to give my list of video games I would love to see based on DC comic book characters. I'm a big fan of DC Comics. I love both DC and Marvel, but if I had to choose between the two, like if there was some crazy civil war, I would definitely be on the side of DC. And DC has had a lot of video games made based on their characters, most notably the Batman Arkham series, which is hugely popular. That was created by the Rocksteady Studios and also Warner Brothers Montreal Interactive Entertainment. And there's the rumors that there's a new game coming out, and we don't know what it is just yet. Apparently, it was supposed to be, revealed at E3, but that's not happening. So maybe it'll happen at the I think IGN's doing their own version of E3. Maybe it'll be revealed there. And the rumor is that it's going to be based on another Batman story, probably a reboot of the series, going to focus on the Court of Owls. And me personally, I did not want a new Batman game. I think they've done enough Batman games. I want to see other DC characters get some shine. So in this video, I'm going to give my list of seven. I'm going to do seven in no particular order, except for the final three. They'll be in order. But seven DC comic book properties I would love to see turned into thriving video game franchises. But before I get into it, don't forget to give this video a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. So thanks for that. Now, let's start the list off with my number 7 pick, which is Green Arrow. Now, Green Arrow is a very popular character. I really like the character, and the Arrow series is very popular. I think that's where most people really started to get into Green Arrow. But in this show, he was definitely based more on Batman, and you could use the Arkham Asylum sort of template and gameplay to work with the Green Arrow character. They both have gadgets. They're both hand-to-hand combatants. They're both detectives, although he's not as good of a detective as Batman is. But the games that I would base the Green Arrow game off of would be Uncharted and the new Tomb Raider series, where you could use sort of the elements from the Arrow TV show, where you can have him be the superhero secret agent who travels the world and goes on these crazy sort of, Indiana Jones-ish type adventures maybe, but he can go to an island and is fighting terrorists, and he can sneak around, you have the stealth mechanics. He can use his gadgets to upgrade. He can lose his gadgets, and then you have to do like the crafting mechanics like you do in the one of the Tomb Raider games, where you have to, get some, supplies and craft your weapons. Like that works with the Green Arrow character. Or you can do something sort of similar, more like Arkham, and do sort of the Supermax storyline, where Green Arrow is sent to prison, and you're trapped in a prison, and you're surrounded by your enemies. You have to escape and then do some other stuff. So it's a very interesting idea. They could really play fast and loose with it. You can do the big cinematic stuff like in the Uncharted games. You can do something more contained, closer to Arkham Asylum. But there's a lot of potential with the Green Arrow character. You can also throw in a lot of different other DC character references, like they did with the TV show, with a bunch of random characters coming in. I think it would be fun. So that would be my number 7 pick for a DC video game. My number 6 pick is the Justice League. How do we not have a Justice League game? They've made a couple, but none of them has been that great. I know there was one back in the mid-2000s. It was around the time of the TV show, and it was similar. It was basically like the X-Men Legends games, but it was a Justice League game. I never played it, and it was, from what I've seen, it was okay. But Justice League is a huge property, minus the movie not doing so well. But you have the cartoon, you have all the DC animated movies. They are the flagship superhero team initially, although the Avengers has sort of eclipsed them. But that's another thing. The Avengers, there's a new game coming out from Square Enix, and it's looking kind of iffy. But if that does well, hopefully that would prompt Warner Brothers to get off their ass and make an actual Justice League game. I have no real templates on how it could go. I like the X-Men Legends style, but they haven't really done games like they did the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the third one. That was okay. I would prefer something with maybe the gravitas of the Injustice games, but it plays more as when you play as the full team fighting villains as opposed to them fighting each other. Like as a fighting game, I want something that's story driven, but they could be co-op, but you get to choose, what teammates you want to play with. You have an unlimited roster. There's so much potential there, and they do have DC Universe Online, but you don't really get to play as the heroes that much. That's more about that's an RPG. You make your own character. I would really want a game where I could switch between Green Lantern and Aquaman and Superman and Wonder Woman. It would be fun. So that's my number 6 pick. My number 5 pick is The Flash. This guy needs a game. He is so popular. Like, as much as Arrow is popular, Flash is even more popular. That show was like the flagship of the CW for a while. I think it's kind of fallen off a little bit lately. Haven't kept up with it. But The Flash is very popular, and much like Batman and another superhero who would be the basis or the main inspiration for this game, Spider-Man, he has an unique and distinctive rogues gallery. So there's no shortage on villains here. And the super speed mechanics might be a little bit tough, but it'll be fun to see the Flash have a story-driven game and do something interesting with him, because it's going to be another decade before that movie comes out. That movie's never coming out, but give us a cool game. Build off the TV show, maybe use some elements from the comics. You can have it, instead of having to worry about the Flash being able to run around the world, you can have it isolated. Maybe Central City is under control from Gorilla Grodd, or some Speed Force shit is going on where he can't go around the world. But you contain it, you give us an interesting story. I think you can have a lot of fun with a Flash video game. So my number 4 pick is the Teen Titans or Young Justice, either or, basically the same thing. This brand is unstoppable, and its longevity is with this is very popular. There's 2 really good shows, and then there's 2 divisive shows, but they all fit with the whole Teen Titans Young Justice brand. So it hits a lot of different audiences, and I think a fun game where they're treated not like a little kiddie game. Once again, I want a big sort of third-party AAA story-driven game with somewhat like I said with the Justice League game, or even make it sort of like the recent Ultimate Alliance game, where you can just have a huge roster of characters, and you pick your 4 and you go on your crazy missions. Something on that scale would be fine. And once again, you have a huge roster of characters you haven't really seen in video games that often. You got your different costumes and all of that. You got cool villains. You got Deathstroke and the Brotherhood of Evil, Mad Mod, who else? I'm forgetting some others. The Hive, Brother Blood. It's very cool roster of just cool characters in general, and it's just wasted. It's like they're sitting on a gold mine, and I think Teen Titans would be a huge property that would make an awesome game. So now we're getting into my final 3, and like I said, my final 3 is in order. So my number 3rd choice is Superman. We need a Superman game. It's tough to make it, but damn it, you gotta do it. Superman is the superhero. Some respect needs to be put on his name in the video game world, because he's had a lot of crappy games. You had, the N64 one, infamous N64 game, Superman Returns game, which is not that good. There was, NES game. There's been some bad ones. There was one that was based on the animated series, which I heard was pretty good. I never played it, but yes, and he can be a tough character because he's all powerful. I think if you think of the game sort of in the mindset of a Grand Theft Auto or a Hulk Ultimate Destruction, I think you can really have fun with it in terms of having it be an open sandbox, but it's highly destructible, so you can control whether or not how much, how you want to use Superman's powers, and that could be fun. Flying around, saving things. You have to figure out what villains he's fighting because you don't want the villains to be too underpowered, but you want there to be a reason for Superman to level up. So one of the things I've always thought about is having it be somewhat like Arkham Asylum, where Superman is trapped somewhere, and throughout the course of the game, he has to upgrade to regain his powers to break free. And there's only one villain I can think you can do that with, and that's Darkseid. You can have it like Superman's been captured and he's stuck on Apokolips, and he has to break free, get back to Earth to stop Darkseid from destroying the planet, something like that. Around that line, I think you can work that into a series or into a game itself, and I think that would be pretty fun to see. They've done, AAA third-person action games with powerful characters, and you really have to work hard to make Superman work, because he's you get it right, you can do amazing things, and they need to get this right. I believe Rocksteady's been working on it, and they haven't announced anything yet, so I need them to hurry up and get it together, because Superman is too powerful and too popular to just be wasted. So yes, number 3, Superman. My number 2 pick is Batman Beyond. As I said earlier, I'm not too happy about a new Batman game that's like either a reboot or focusing on the Court of Owls. But if you give me a Batman Beyond game made by Rocksteady, now that sounds awesome. Like, I want to see a different take on the Batman character. Like, we've seen him, in Arkham, we've seen him in Arkham City, we've seen him fighting Red Hood, like we've seen him when he was younger, like we've done all that. Can we get something different? Setting it in the future with new gadgets and a new protagonist, and then like having the young guy and the mentor storyline with the whole Batman Beyond stuff would be awesome. Batman Beyond, very popular series, and it would be cool to really bring it back and do something interesting with it. And it's a way to advance the whole Arkham games, where it's like, all right, we saw him when he was a little bit older and some stuff went down, so let's see it sometime in the future, and he's now coping with some new stuff. You can bring in those, I wouldn't say classic villains from Batman Beyond, but you can reinvent them and reinvigorate those characters for a new generation and really solidify them as classics. And it's like, there's so much stuff they can do with that. You can, it's the endless possibilities. So Batman Beyond, number 2 pick. And my number 1 video game that I want to see made based on a DC character is Wonder Woman. Why does she not have a game yet? Like, this is insane. She is such a fun, cool, interesting character. I thought after her movie, practically saved DCEU, it really got people to be like, hey, that wasn't too bad. That was awesome. I want another one. And there's a new movie coming out, and the whole thing with, we want more powerful female characters in other genres and other media. It's like, the character is right there. Just use the character. You know what I'm saying? It's like, make a cool game. She's, fantasy based. She's, you got Greek mythology, you got warriors, you got magic, which sounds somewhat similar to God of War, but not quite as, dark, but still, you got God of War, so you can just base it similar to that. That's a powerful character who has to fight all these powerful monsters and mythical creatures. Sounds like Wonder Woman to me. But then you can also do it where, because she's somewhat immortal, you can have it set in different timelines. Well, this is her, you can go more the stealth route, where this is her during World War I, World War II, or, some other fictional war. But you can bring other elements into it besides just being monsters and dragons, which is cool. You can also bring in, this hand-to-hand combat with humans and all that. You can do stealth elements. You can do crazy magic attacks. She's got a really solid rogues gallery, but then you also have the Greek mythology, so you can just, blend that in any way you want to. You can bring in the other DC characters. It'd be really fun to see them do something with Wonder Woman. And, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, just do it. It would be awesome. Especially if you nail it. It would be really freaking awesome. And yeah, so that's just my quick list of DC video games that I would want to be made in the future, hopefully sometime soon. And if you like my list, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments your own list of video games based on DC characters you would love to see. And are you excited about the new rumors surrounding the new Batman game? And how you feeling about that? Like I said, I'm kind of iffy on it, but maybe once I see it, I'll be excited. I mean, it's Batman, it's Rocksteady. They've only messed up once, kinda, with Arkham Knight. So, I'll give them a chance. But I really want to see some other stuff besides the Bat. Other great characters just sitting on the shelf. Warner Brothers, get off your ass, do something interesting. But that's all I have to say in this video. If you like the content, hit the like button. If you didn't like the content, hit the like button. Share this video and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more videos. Peace.